there's one level of criticism that, for example, says, well, why don't you do more exotic things like a temporary cut in a sales tax as a way of moving spending from one period to another, right? And that was something that we thought about, and then we actually said, you know what, in the forecast that we have are that this was going to be a severe downturn, might go on for a while. In that kind of a situation, you don't want to just trade spending from one quarter to another or 1 year to another. What you need is a big fiscal stimulus, a good old-fashioned, just get more spending out there. So that's an example of a criticism we thought about and tried to respond to. Another one that we hear is, sort of, why don't you have, we know like Roosevelt had, the WPA. Imagine one big signature thing, right? Why not have just one thing in your fiscal stimulus rather than 9, lots and lots of things that there's one out of 500 that people criticize? And one of the things that we did was to say, in a world where you're trying to do $800 billion of fiscal stimulus, if you want to do smart spending, you're probably not going to be able to do all of it in one area, that we probably have higher returns, higher marginal utility, whatever you want to call it, if you spread it around in a number of areas. Or another criticism, why didn't you do it all in tax cuts, right? That's been one of my favorites because David and I have some work that says, tax cuts or tax changes have a big effect on output. Well, one of the things that we felt very strongly from that research is that what it shows is that fiscal policy in general has big effects, and that by all our reasoning, plain old government spending probably has even more of an effect than tax cuts. And so when we were designing the fiscal stimulus, we said it probably makes sense to have a range of things. Have about a third of it tax cuts, about a third of it direct government investment, about a third of it the spending to states and the people that have been hurt.